Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome, everyone, to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Today, we are doing a planetary puja, an in-depth one, using the chart of now. My name is Swamini Vali. I am your host, and I am a Pillai Center teacher and astrologer, and I'm very happy to be hosting this call Monday through Friday. Dr. Pillai has explained that the planets and the stars are more than just objects in outer space. They are also light beings associated with them. And as we do this puja, we invite the blessings of these light beings into ourselves and into our world. We're using the chart of now in a South Indian style representation. The location used for this chart is where I am, which is here in Florida, and for my time in the morning, which is starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So we are using this style of chart. I have on a side table here the chart drawn in chalk on a chalkboard with the planets filled in. I have a tea light that's lit. I have a little container of water. I have a hand fan. I have a bell. And I also have a bowl of flower petals that I'll use as we go along with the puja. So we'll start with first, I'll take the little container of water and dip my finger into it and sprinkle drops of water on all four sides of the chart, just purifying the area, sprinkling a few drops on top of myself, purifying myself, sending a few drops out into space towards all of you so that we are all participating in this puja in a sacred space or purified ground. And then we begin by invoking Ganesha, the archetype who removes obstacles, and also an archetype who is a patron of astrology. We use the mantra Om Sring Gung, S-R-I-N-G, G-U-N-G. Om Sring Gung. Om Sring Gung. Om Sring Gung. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles from this puja, and we thank him for his help with this. Now we do a short Tamil chant asking all of the planets to be beneficial towards us. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave. We ask all of the planets to be beneficial today towards us and towards our world. We thank Sayana Samunda for teaching this chant, and we are grateful to Dr. Pillai for sharing it with us. Now, we're going to honor the time elements that are active right now. We will honor the planet that rules the day, the star that the moon is in, or nakshatra, the tithi, or the moon phase, the planet that rules the hour, and also the yoga and the karana time elements. We start with honoring the planet that rules the day. Today is Friday, ruled by Venus. We make mantra to Venus, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the star that the moon is in. The moment the moon is in a star called Kritika, a star that has energies of truth, I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Now we honor the tithi, or the moon phase, the moment we are in the 8th waning moon, called Ashtami in Sanskrit. Dr. Pillai said we would honor the moon phase using the Sanskrit name of the moon phase, followed by the word Devi, invoking the light being associated with that moon phase. In this remaining time of the 8th waning moon, it is still Krishna's birthday in my local area. We honor the moon phase. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Ashtami Devye Namaha. Om Ashtami Devye Namaha. Om Ashtami Devye Namaha. Now we honor the planet ruling the hour. In my area, the hour right now is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. For the yoga and the karana, Dr. Pillai said we would not offer flower petals. We would just say the names of these time elements 3 times each. The yoga right now is one called Dhruva, which has energies of being reliable. Dhruva, Dhruva, Dhruva. And the karana right now is one called Kalava, which has energies that are social. Kalava, Kalava, Kalava. Now we turn our attention to the chart of the moment. At the moment, the ascendant sign is here, represented by this AC, in the sign of Virgo. All of the little boxes on this chart each represent a different zodiac sign. The ascendant sign is the one that's coming up in the eastern horizon in my local area. Dr. Pillai said we would always start with the ascendant sign and honor whatever planet rules that sign as a gesture of the importance of that planet at the moment. This is Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. So we will begin by honoring Mercury, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Now, going from the ascendant sign in a clockwise direction around the chart, we go to the first sign that has a planet in it. This is Tula or Libra, which right now contains Ketu. We honor Ketu, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Ketu right now is in a star called Vishaka. This is a star that has energies for success, blessings for victory, triumph. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra gives blessings for leadership and courage, and Agni gives blessings for transformation and purification. We honor both of them, and I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Libra, which is Venus. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a sign with energies of balance and fairness, today containing Ketu, sometimes called the saintly planet. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign going in a clockwise direction that has a planet in it is Makara or Capricorn, which today contains Pluto retrograde and Saturn retrograde. When planets are retrograde, they are extra powerful. We honor Pluto and we use the mantra Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Pluto is in a star called Uttarashada. This is one of the stars of success, and it especially can give a blessing for long-lasting success. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas, 10 light beings who each embody a different, unique, divine, universal principle. We ask for blessings from all of them, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the sun. We honor the sun. I put flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor Saturn for being in Capricorn. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Saturn right now is in a star called Dhanishta, a star that can give blessings for prosperity, music, and good reputation. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by the 8 Vasus, 8 light beings who each rule different spheres of existence. We honor them, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Capricorn, which is Saturn. Again, we invoke Saturn, and I put more flower petals on him. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a sign that can activate ancient past life skills and abilities. Today containing Pluto, a planet that can bless us with rationality and science, and Saturn, a planet that can help with patience, discipline, structure, and compassion. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Mina or Pisces, which today contains Neptune retrograde and also Jupiter retrograde. Again, when planets are retrograde, they are extra powerful. We honor Neptune and we use the mantra Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Neptune is in a star called Purva Bhadrapada, a star with the fire of Kundalini energy, and a star that helps with purification. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Aja Ekapada, an archetype who can help us experience deeper levels of silence and also deeper levels of forgiveness. We honor this archetype, and I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Next, we honor Jupiter for being in Pisces. And again, I put flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter is in a star called Uttara Bhadrapada. Dr. Ply says this is a star that can help with business development. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Arbundia, an archetype who can help to guard precious things. We honor him, and I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Arbundiaye Namaha. Om Arbundiaye Namaha. Om Arbundiaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Pisces, which is Jupiter. Again, we honor Jupiter, and I put more flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Mina or Pisces the most metaphysical and transcendental of all the zodiac signs, today containing Neptune, a planet that can help with intuition and our ability to understand our own inner life. And Jupiter, a planet that helps with everything related to spiritual teachings and spiritual teachers, as well as helps with wealth and everything related to legal and banking matters. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. I'm so sorry, I muted because I needed to cough and I didn't realize I hadn't opened it up again. We've honored Uranus and Rahu, and we've honored the star of Bharani, and now we're about to invoke the archetype that rules Bharani star. And I apologize that I hadn't realized I hadn't unmuted the sound. Thank you for letting me know. We now honor Yama, the archetype who rules Bharani star. Among other things, he's an archetype of justice. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Bharani star is ruled by Venus. We honor Venus, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Misha or Aries, which is Mars. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha or Aries, a fire sign with very active energies, today containing Rahu, planet that helps with thinking outside the box and also with helping us make friends with new technologies. And Uranus, a planet that helps with high intelligence and also success in life, and also a planet that helps with astrology. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Vrishabha or Taurus, which today contains the moon and Mars. We honor the moon. Om, let me see, they're both in the same star. Just a second. Let me double check on that. I believe they're both in the star of Kritika. Yes, we invoke the moon first, then Mars, then we invoke the star. We invoke the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Now we invoke Mars. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Both the moon and Mars are in a star called Kritika, a star of truth. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals across the moon and Mars. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Kritika star is ruled by Agni, the archetype that rules fire. We honor Agni, and I put the flower petals across moon and Mars. Om Agniye Namaha. Om Agniye Namaha. Om Agniye Namaha. Kritika star is ruled by the sun. We honor the sun, and I put the flower petals across him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Vrishabha or Taurus, which is Venus. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Vrishabha or Taurus, a grounded and luxury-loving sign, today containing the moon, which is our mind and our emotions, and containing Mars, a planet of passion, and a planet that has both warrior and healer energies. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi sign with the planet in it is Karkata or Cancer, which today contains Venus. We honor Venus, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Venus is in a star called Pushya, the most spiritually auspicious of all the stars. I put the flower petals on top of Venus as we honor this star. Om Pushyaye Namaha. Om Pushyaye Namaha. Om Pushyaye Namaha. Pushya star is ruled by Brihaspati, an archetype in which it's Jupiter in his form as a very high spiritual teacher. We honor Brihaspati, and I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Pushya star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Cancer, which is the moon. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Karkata or Cancer, the most emotionally sensitive of all the zodiac signs, today containing Venus, a planet of happiness, a planet of diplomacy, a planet that helps us to enjoy material plane comforts, and a planet that helps us to experience the arts. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Simha or Leo, which today contains the Sun and Mercury. We honor the sun, and I put flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. The sun is in a star called Magha, a star that gives blessings for royalty consciousness and high self-esteem. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Maghaye Namaha. Om Maghaye Namaha. Om Maghaye Namaha. Magha star is ruled by the Pritis, ancestors who've gone into higher planes of light. We ask their blessings, and I put the flower petals across the sun. Om Pritisye Namaha. Om Pritisye Namaha. Om Pritisye Namaha. Magha star is ruled by Ketu. We honor Ketu, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Now we honor Mercury for being in Leo. I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Mercury is in a star called Uttara Phalguni. This is one of the stars of relationship energy, and it's also a star of keeping your word. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Uttara Phalgunaye Namaha. Om Uttara Phalgunaye Namaha. Om Uttara Phalgunaye Namaha. Uttara Phalguni star is ruled by Aryaman, an archetype who rules the energy of contracts and also helps with honor. Honor is when there is a line we just don't cross. We honor this archetype, and I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Uttara Phalguni star is ruled by the sun. We honor the sun and put more flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Leo, which is the sun. Again, we honor the sun, and I put more flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Simha or Leo, a sign of leadership and power. Today containing the sun, which is our soul, and also a planet so important for life-affirming energies and the energies of cheerfulness. And Mercury, planet of communication, and also planet for commercial success, as he rules all forms of buying and selling. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, I take a lit tea light and I hold it above the blackboard that has the chart and all the little flower petals piled up on it. And I pass it around the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction, offering all these divine beings that we've just invoked, the element of light. Now I take a little hand fan. Some of you could use a lit incense stick. I have a housemate who's very sensitive to scent. And I'm a little fan around the chart 3 times, offering the element of air and a cooling breeze. And now I take a bell and I'll ring that around the chart 3 times, offering the element of sound. Now I make prayer hands and make sincere prayer to all these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking them for their positive blessings to come into our lives, into the lives of our friends, our families, our neighbors, our colleagues. I ask them to bless our homes, our workplaces, our schools. I ask them to bless our communities, our countries, and the entire planet. May everyone on this planet have love in their life now and always. I pray that everyone may have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, good clothes to wear, access to health care, good education, sustainable jobs. I pray for enlightened leaders, enlightened citizens, enlightened laws, enlightened countries, and entire enlightened civilizations. And I make a bow. You can continue to make your prayers in silence for another minute, and then we can take some very short Q&A period. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace, peace, peace. May we all go about our day or our evening in peace. Thank you all very much for being here. We appreciate your participation and your support. I do have to end the Zoom session promptly on Fridays. I can take maybe 1 or 2 questions if you post them quickly in the chat. But I do have to close off the Zoom session as Ronnie's going to need it for the Shrimbrzi community call coming up on another channel. Other days, we can take a little bit longer with Q&A. Know that even though I had my microphone muted extra long, I was still continuing to do the puja. Ranak is asking, Lord Krishna was born on Ashtami, Taurus moon in Rohini. However, the moon this time is in Kritika. I guess Tithi is more important in this case. Yes, I think in the West, it would be the Ashtami time is Krishna's birthday. The matchup of the Ashtami Tithi and the star may be easier in perhaps in India. As you get away from India, some of the festival timings are not always going to line up exactly. So we have celebrated Krishna's birthday on the Ashtami that's in this particular month. That's more what we base the timing on, is off the Ashtami Tithi. So that's how it works here. The festival timings have to, adjust because the lineups don't always happen the same way that they do in India. What is the difference between gum and gung when invoking Ganesha? These are both seed sounds for Ganesha. Gung, Om Sring Gung, is the one that Dr. Pillai taught when he taught this puja to us. And so we go ahead and use that one because that's what he taught for this particular puja. They're both seed sounds, but the Om Sring Gung is one he's taught for the beginning of this puja. He's also taught it to some of us for the beginning of when we do fire labs. So there's a particular kind of punchy sound to that. Maybe we're bringing in a bit of a fiercer aspect of Ganesha to protect the ritual, but I can't say for sure. I'm just speculating there. I just follow the directions that I was given and trust Dr. Pillai that he knows what he's doing with the sounds that he gives us for the different rituals. So that's what I can say about that. Okay, so this is all the questions that I'm seeing in the chat. Again, I'm going to close out the Zoom session so Ronnie has time to set up for the next thing that's happening. We will be continuing to do this Monday through Friday on this channel. And Monday through Thursday, I have time for answering more questions. But on Fridays, I try to be very quick to end the Zoom session so Ronnie isn't stressing about getting set up. Thank you all for being here. Again, we appreciate those of you that press the like button and those that subscribe to the channel to help the channel to grow. Namaste. May the light in me honor the light in you, and may light encompass all. Namaste.